Welcome to Vacation Station, hosted by Lisa and Nancy, editors of BigBlendMagazines.com.
Hey everybody, welcome to Big Blend Radio's Vacation Station travel show with Nancy and Lisa. You know, we are the crazy mother-daughter travel team, so we can giggle anytime now. And also, you know, we travel on our Love Your Parks tour. We document parks and public lands across the country, publishers of Big Blend magazines. And, you know, we're super excited today because we get to welcome back our friends, Steve and Karen Wilson. They are known as Mr. and Mrs Wild of Asheville. They are owners of the Lion and the Rose Bed and Breakfast in the Montford District. It's a historic district in Asheville-North-Carolina. Beer City, USA. You've got Great-Smoky-Mountains National Park. You got Blue Ridge Parkway. You got downtown Asheville, all the music, all the breweries. I mean, the Biltmore Estate, the Arboretum, all kinds of things going on.
So many
and
things
behind their B&B is a really cool graveyard. I know we talk about this every time we bring them on the show, but they're back on the show today to, well, they're our Asheville correspondents because we keep circling back there. And this is just one of those regions you want to keep going back to. And there are Asheville correspondents to tell us about what's going to happen spring, summer, what it's like, because they are Mr. and Mrs. Wild, not just because they brew crazy beer and have a good time, but because they do go out into the wild and know all these cool spaces. So welcome back, Steve and Karen. How are you guys doing?
We're good. How about you all?
We're doing good. We're doing good. This is, thank you. It is awesome to have you back. And it's interesting, you know, we've got to think about the weather changes right now. We are recording in Peachtree City, Georgia. When this airs, we'll be on the road to Louisiana. You're in Asheville, and then a little stormy thing is coming through. And it's interesting. We've had a few of those, and I know it's gotten cold for you guys, but Karen, I saw on Instagram the other day, you were posting photos of Icicle waterfalls.
Nice.
Like, how did you, what, I mean, where did you, what, how, and where? Like, how did that happen? Like, I need to take Toddy's
whenever
to do that.
we have the energy to bundle up and get out there, we do.
Yeah,
what else is there to do at this time of year, right?
But how do you, I mean, where are you going to do that? I mean, is that on the Blue Ridge Parkway? Because I thought it was closed part of the year, or like, where are you going
most of the parkway. Yeah, most of the parkway would be closed right now because especially higher elevations have gotten more snow than we have. Those pictures were from Pisgah Forest because you can almost always access that area near Brevard, and that's about a half hour away.
Oh, so
cool.
not so far. Yeah, we went through there. Yeah.
Yeah, most of that is like it's runoff from the watershed. It comes through the rocks, and in the summer or the spring, they're all wet. They're kind of like the Weeping Wall up there in Montana. But they're everywhere, and as it gets colder, you get all these gigantic icicles, and it's kind of like what I like to say is
just
Superman's fortress of solitude. Yes, fortress of solitude.
Oh,
very cool.
That's so cool.
It's it's ancient feeling. You know what I mean? I feel like Merlin is going to come out and just like, here's my sword. I'm going to sorry.
No, but it's so weird when you think of here's a drip of water and it freezes. I mean, it's weird. You know,
you got all kinds of different crystalline formations on there too. Not just the icicles, but down below you have different shaped like crystals of ice. It's really neat.
You know,
and just the way the light catches it sometimes, you know, it's really neat the way the light catches it. Yeah.
Awesome.
It's interesting how that works too, because this is something you could see through spring, because spring is one of those finicky, well, like spring and fall are finicky, and you could have like at the very end of spring, something like, hello, we're going to do this again. We're going to have snow. We're going to do that. But I remember Nancy and I were in Yosemite National Park, and it was fall, right before Halloween. And we went in the park, and it was snowing and doing its ice thing. And then we went back in January, and there was this one part, like a friend of ours, John DeGrazio, runs tours up there and takes people hiking, which we need. And he took us this one area, and there was this little like lake area. You could see El Capitan and everything. And literally on this little bit of water were chunks, like it looked like something you could make in a freezer. Chunks
It's
of
ice.
ice in
cool.
squares on the
Mhm.
water.
Ice
And like,
cubes.
and then it looked like foam around it, but that's like all frozen. It, like this whole, I've never seen anything like it, man. I'm from Africa. We don't have that stuff. Out there,
No,
like,
but
what the
it
hell?
looked like
That
it
sounds
looked like
awesome.
somebody threw ice cubes
It
on
does.
it.
Yeah, it was so
weird.
bizarre.
It
was like
weird.
this whole, it was like this whole other thing that I've never seen
I've
again,
never
but
seen
that's
anything like that.
what you guys are posting with, like the waterfalls and having all these different, I want to like,
Mhm.
have you seen the microscope things that people do with snowflakes? And I don't even know how they managed to do that, but
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah, that's very cool.
Yeah.
that is cool. And so I wonder, like, if they could take what you've done in photographs and see, like, you know, like what's going on inside the, but all those
That would be
icicles
interesting.
are really good. Can you take them and store them for cocktails in the summer? Like you would have your own ice
What?
chest of,
You know that-
icicles.
Well,
that-
we did. We had that in Alaska, where we had done like a little day cruise to see the glaciers, and they pulled up some glacial ice and made a glacial margarita.
Ooh,
No way.
cool.
No
Oh,
way.
yeah.
We've had,
Probably one of the best margaritas ever.
well, we haven't
Wow.
had glacial, but when we lived up in the mountains in Julian, wait, we
We
hadn't
did
moved there
snow
yet.
once.
We
made
went to do
snow
an,
margaritas.
we made snow margaritas. We were
Ooh.
at a
Yeah,
Chamber of
it was
Commerce
cool.
event, and it snowed and nobody went, but we thought we'd still go, and we were at our friend's resort, and we're like, we've got all this food and all this booze, well, let's have a party. So we spent the night running out and getting fresh snow. Nothing had touched it, and
It
made
was like
margaritas,
Make
strawberry
a snow
margaritas.
angel and bring the snow back for a margarita. That was the dare.
Oh, that's cool.
But this is the cool thing about like this kind of year, like this time of year, it's starting to warm up, and then it's not, and then spring. It's when you see all that green start to pop out. Like to me, this spring is like the most exciting time of the year. Spring. I know I love New
think so
Year's,
too,
but
yeah.
spring, when you start seeing, it's like watching your garden come back to life. Who's gonna? Ooh, there's a bud. Ooh, there's a new green. And all the animals know, and the birds know. So where would you say people could go at the beginning of spring? And then we'll get into summer, but like for that nature experience.
There's a few spots we like on the Blue Ridge Parkway. When things start coming out, maybe more, probably Steve can say more, but I would say late spring, we like going to see like salamanders and stuff like that. When they start coming out, the red F's are one of our favorite because they're just that nice red color, and they're just so cool.
Wow.
Cool.
Tell us about that, because we don't, I mean, a lot of us aren't even going to know or have seen that. I mean, I would think there's going to be people that go to the park just for salamanders, because you don't see salamanders everywhere in the world, you know?
You don't really see too many people, honestly. Most people we see are just walking and are oblivious, and we're down there taking pictures of one of these little guys. And these are actually larvae of the red-spotted newt. It's kind of weird because these things are more terrestrial, and then once they I don't know how long they stay on the land, but I think it's like a year or so, and then they go back to the creek and turn into newts where they're pretty much aquatic. They get the gills back. It's kind of backwards.
Wow.
Oh, wow. That's interesting. I
cool.
see. It's completely
That's
different.
cool.
Yeah. I want to experience. I want to see the salamanders.
Yeah.
So I didn't even know the new thing. And I remember you posting, I think it was a salamander or a newt, Steve, on a photo on Facebook.
Sure.
And I was like, what is that? Like, I've never, like, I think it was
I
like
think
the
in
devil
one day
newt or something. I don't know what it was.
I'm trying to think. I think we counted about 8 species, at least 8 species in one day when we went.
No.
I mean, just on like a short 1.5 mile hike.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
This one area we really like for that. And I remember one day we were coming back and it started raining, and it was like the hills were crying salamanders. They were all sliding down the side of the hill to the creek. They were everywhere.
Wow.
Which is
And then there
incredible.
was a little pond, like with all these tiny little babies, just the tiny little things like they had just hatched. Oh, so cute.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Yeah, let's take you there.
Cool.
Oh, I want to go.
We'll take you there.
I want
Dang,
to
like
see.
we need to now change our car into being a little airplane, or something, so we can just zip.
Yeah, really.
You know, Priscilla, our
Okay.
sock monkey, can drive or fly us, captain it. But
Pilot.
honestly, that would be amazing to see, because
Mhm.
it sounds like, salamanders, but like lemmings, like they're gonna go diving off, But
Yeah.
so basically, like, this is, Asheville's got its beer. We love the beer side, and Steve, you are an amazing brewer, and so there's the history side, and Asheville is like amazing. But
Mhm.
for
Mhm.
nature
Mhm.
lovers, you're in the Montfort district, very historic, and like I was saying, the graveyard. We're gonna have to do a graveyard show this year.
Oh,
We have
yeah.
to. We have to do something.
Ooh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Let's
That has to
go play
happen.
in the graveyard in
Who's going to pop
October.
out of the grave today?
Mhm.
But you've got Thomas Wolfe, O. Henry, buried,
Mhm.
not that far behind you. And I find that history of Asheville, I know we've talked about this on a number of shows, like the history of Asheville,
Yeah.
it being an artist, it just it drew, like, not just like Nashville's all, we're all country music, and like that's changed too a little bit, but it's draws in art, music, writers, tons of writers.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I
All
wonder
kinds of
about
creative.
it. Do you think
Mhm.
it's the nature on the, because it's
Sure.
not that far from you? That was what I was getting
I would
to
say
is-
Yep.
it is.
Mhm.
yeah.
I would
Yeah.
say it is. The nature is definitely inspirational. I know when we get out on a hike, it's a nice release, emotional, peaceful, just enjoying everything around you. It makes you appreciate everything.
Mhm.
I like that.
Yeah.
And you're not that far. Like, that's what I was going to say. It's like, it's our
No.
number one, you have bears, right?
I love that.
Mhm.
In the
Yeah.
neighborhood.
I love that.
And everybody, you're safe going
Yes, we
there.
have
Trust
bears.
me. Yeah, you do have bears, and they are wild. If they have a collar, that means they're being tracked, and so that people
Mhm.
know that they're there. They are not pets.
That's
So
right.
you will.
Yep.
Well, it is-
Berry.
If people getting there, they may never seen a bear before and wondering why there's a collar, and and so
exactly. Yep.
yeah, it is a different. But you wouldn't. Nancy, when we saw the bears out there in Asheville, and we weren't at the B&B, but in neighborhood, and
Mhm.
like, it just was like, you would think you'd have to be in Alaska or Colorado or Montana or something to experience
Yeah.
that.
Right.
But that was like, hello, they're
They
here.
just walk up and down the street like nothing. It's
I
crazy.
know it is like in Colorado, we watched this one bear across the street, just like toppled the trash cans across the street. And it was
Yep.
really interesting to watch because they're so human like.
Oh yeah, I agree.
They do kind of stand up like a person, walk over, and
Mhm.
they look inside, sniff a little bit. You can see the little nosies quivering, and they're sniffing to see,
Mhm.
is this worth it? And then they go, yeah, man, and they just push it over. Yeah, it's so much fun to watch. And then they go in, and when they go in, they disappear into the trash can, and it's like a dog digging. You just see the stuff
Mhm.
flying out on the sidewalk.
Yep.
Or the whole thing going down.
It's so much fun. And then they walk out with one thing like, yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Yep,
some
that's
big
it.
old taco or something.
The one that we saw when we were in the neighborhood in Nashville, we were doing a pet sit, and then went through and went right by this lady's trash, sniffed it, and walked off. And I'm like, what do you have in your trash?
Yeah, they were no, we don't like that.
they weren't impressed. I mean, so
Like
Must have been a vegan trash can.
Yeah, there's not
no sausage
bear-worthy.
in there.
No sausage, no bacon,
No sausage,
no
no
rotten
bacon.
bananas. They like our
That-
rotten bananas.
They
Oh,
want sausage.
this brings us to Sausage Day. We have to bring this up.
Sausage
Okay,
Day.
so many of you may know that Nancy and I we inset, is that a word?
Members
We
of
were
the South Sausage
insitters.
Council.
We became
did- yeah,
we
you
became members
inset?
of the Sausage Council at the
Right.
Lion and Rose Bed and Breakfast. We for 3 nights, or 3-4 days,
They got
decided
some
to
good
become
sausage over there.
innkeepers and learn what it's like. And and they listen, Karen and Steve do a hell of a lot of work, and now I know why Steve brews beer. But and everybody loves his beer and beer mosas, by the way. It's a lot of work what they do. I mean, you're talking about a Victorian mansion. I mean, she is a
But it
lady.
was
She's a
fun.
beautiful pink lady, and she has class and style, yet it's comfy, so it's not pretentious. This is not a pretentious B&B. This is comfortable elegance,
It's
right?
beautiful,
And
though.
it was
Exactly.
just
Yep.
it is, and you can have a beer when you come in. And people just go, oh, I want a beer. Can I come back downstairs and have a beer? I'm like, of course you can. And next thing you know, you're having these amazing conversations with amazing, amazing guests. And then you say,
Absolutely.
hey, you want a beer mimosa for breakfast? Yes. Only on Sundays, apparently. But when we were there, we learned about Sausage Day, because then there's Oreo, Speedwagon, which is really Bob Newhart, the dog, one dog, and then there's Ozzy, who is the younger one, who runs around and loves to love on people if they want that. And when it is Sausage Day at the B&B, there is the Sausage Day song, and the dogs know, and the cats downstairs know that basically,
You know what?
Pig is coming forth after breakfast.
Just have to say, Ozzy is Eddie Murphy.
Now he's Eddie Murphy.
Eddie Murphy.
Because he does do that. Look at you. Like Eddie Murphy has the best timing. Okay. That's it. Totally. That's dope. That is Eddie Murphy is one of the best comedians on the planet. And he does have that timing. He looks at you. He does that perfect timing of a comedian. Yes. Ha. All right. So it's not Ozzy and Harriet at all. Just so you all know. It's not. No. But no. But Sausage Day is about it's about pork and the dogs and cats being happy downstairs for any leftovers. And there's the Sausage Day song. Steve, how does that go?
Well, it's basically just a one note tune. Sausage Day.
Sausage
And they come running.
Day.
Sausage
We're so
Day.
happy
Anybody wanna
today.
sing
That
it?
is Sausage
Sausage
Day.
I think we should, Lisa, you're a songwriter, write a Sausage Day song.
Well, listen, here's the deal. We're going to expand this. We're going to expand this.
Yep, we need to extend that. Yep.
This is because when Nancy was cooking, and everyone, we did an Innkeeper Insider with Steve and Karen. You can check it out on blendradiontv.com. Just type in Lion in the Rose and you'll find it. And it'll be in the upcoming issue of Quality of Life magazine. There, if you want to know what it's like to be an innkeeper, that's the feature for you to check out. And it's fun anyway. And you've got to go stay there, period. But this became an interesting thing. Nancy's trying to cook for 9 guests, I think. Serve all at once in the kitchen, and I'm closing the doors so bad words don't go flying out to the guests, and she's trying to make sure everything comes out on time. And Steve sends a text message singing Sausage Day, which made Nancy very happy, by the way. Then it calmed her down. But we found out that the month of October, because you got to think of Oktoberfest and brats and beer. And October, the month of October is Sausage Month. And so we are going to do a special live broadcast, unless something crazy happens, because you never know since we travel, October 2nd will be our champagne Sunday, beer Sunday toast to the almighty sausage. And so we're going to have a live show, and Steve Schneikert, our Hollywood historian, he's got a lot of singing to do. And we may even hear Carol Channing sing Hello Sausage. I'm just saying, you never know what could happen. So we have a live show. We're going to be talking about.
We want to visit
cooking. If you want to know how to keep your sausage moist, you will hear it on that show. If you want to hear about how to cook your sausage, you'll hear it on that show. If you want to hear games that you can play revolving around sausage, you will hear it on that show. So anyway, October 2nd, bigblendradio.com. Stay tuned for that. Did I do a good commercial for that or not?
Yeah, but I just have to add
that is
one
perfect.
thing.
Can't wait for that.
Can you reheat your sausage?
Yes, you can.
That's a big
It may
question.
take time, and it depends on the sausage.
Exactly. Well said there.
Yep.
Okay, we're all going to behave now. But listen, you've got wonderful. Oh boy, I have to watch. You have a wonderful breakfast that does have sausage on the side. So you do. What's the latest? What's going on? What did you serve today?
Today we didn't serve anything.
We didn't
were
serve.
busy,
We've been closed this week.
Oh, yeah, you're
Yeah,
renovating.
We've been
closed
working on a
season,
bathroom,
Oh,
renovating
that's
bathrooms
right.
this week.
well, you don't want to serve
Oh.
sausage when you're doing that. No, of course not. No,
You should
but-
have. You should have let us do it. We're really good
Yeah,
at that
we
stuff.
would have come and helped
Yeah.
for sure.
Oh,
So
we do have a nice hard salami inside the fridge that we've been snacking on. So
There you go.
now, apparently, you've got a new brew going. Tell us about this new beer that's happening, Steve.
well, this is our Dirty Godiva beer, based on a character that you brought to us when we first met you guys. It sounded like a good name for a beer, so I started putting together a recipe where we got a little bit of some tones of chocolate, maybe a little
Cool.
bit of dirtiness to it with a little bit of spice and a
Yay.
lot of alcohol. At least
Yeah.
9% so far. We're shooting for.
Wow.
Maybe we'll get 10.
Mm, I can't wait
And
to
it's going to
taste
be
it.
quite a concoction with add a little bit of lactose in there. It'll give it more like a milkshake thing, make it a little thicker to it. And so,
Oh, is that
Wow.
what makes it a
Mhm.
stout?
I like
by
the
adding the
smoothness.
lactose? By doing that,
Yeah,
does
yeah,
that make it stouty?
that's how some of the certain beers they use that for. They call them like milkshakes. I guess it makes it more like a milkshake consistency kind of. I guess I don't know. I don't really agree too much with that, but
Smooth and creamy, I'd say.
yeah.
Mm. Well, I
But I
think there
just added
has
some.
to.
I just added some this candy sugar that they use in Belgian beers, and it's like a
Oh,
heavy
cool.
chocolatey and different kinds of
Nice.
notes. It's really really thick. So we'll see what happens there.
What will happen
I
with the
think
beer
I-
mosa? Because chocolate and orange is really good. So I'm wondering if
Ooh,
would it's
that's
going to be
interesting. I
either.
didn't think of that. I just
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
It might be
mean,
so
okay.
thick that the orange juice floats on top,
Wow.
Mm.
or vice versa.
like a dark and tan,
Yep.
maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, black and tan.
Yeah.
Oh, black and
I
tan.
thi-
Sorry.
I think that we should have an appetizer that complements it.
The dirty Godiva
Mm.
needs to have an appetizer. Oh, it's got to
On
be
a-
a sausage.
Dirty
That's
Godiva
it.
on a sausage.
Oh, no, I mean, what can you
Cracker.
have? What kind of sausage would you put with a dirty Godiva? Chocolate, like it has to have spice.
Mm.
Yeah,
You
so
know,
you could.
it's gotta have
Yeah, I would say
spice.
something spicy, more maybe
Maybe some
chorizo.
chorizo or something. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Oh.
A thin slice of that
Ooh.
with some Swiss cheese because she gets around, and then in some kind of cracker, and
Swiss
maybe
cheese, that's
just
holy.
on top a pickle because she did fall off her bike. I'm just
Oh,
saying.
she did. The dirty Godiva was a biker, and she was the character she is a nudist, drunk,
71-year-old biker.
elder biker who does fall off her bike and does like to take her top off and everything else too. But she's quite a character,
She's a
and she
nudist.
was married to a nudist as well. And they lived on a nudist colony, and he got arrested and is in jail currently for stealing antiques from old ladies. So
Yes.
this is the dirty Godiva character. Listen, some things are real and some things are fiction. I'll let you guess which one it is.
Mm-mm.
But
Well, I know from staying over at night with her, it's real.
you stayed overnight with a dirty Godiva when she's a
Yeah,
nudist.
we did.
You did? I didn't say I did. This is fiction, fact or
No,
fiction.
it's not. She
No,
walked
it's
down
please
the
believe it or not.
hallways
Just
nude.
drink the dirty Godiva beer and let me know if it's real or not. You never know. Don't listen to Nancy. She doesn't know. She's just trying to throw you off the path, right? Off the beaten path,
She
Nancy.
was lurking in the hallways.
There you go. All right. So moving on. Okay. So spring, good time. What I've heard is Great-Smoky-Mountain National Park in like April is like magic in regards to wildflowers. Have you experienced that? Is it April? Am I right on that? I'm not sure because we haven't been there.
We've done parts of the Great Smoky Mountain Park for wildflowers in April and May. Same with parts of the Blue Ridge Parkway. It just depends what type of flowers you're looking at, and the elevation is what makes the difference.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
And
Okay.
It changes by time of day or by time of month too. Every couple of weeks you'll get something new blooming and something
That's
else
so
dying.
cool.
So it just kind of constantly cycling through the whole season. It's pretty neat.
That's so
man.
cool.
That's
Wow.
got to be a hard balance for you guys. Like, I want to run out. It's like, but
It
you know,
is.
but that's the beauty. Like with your guests at the B&B, like, all these little places that, are, just like, oh, you only want to do this, but you want to see that. Well, here's this hike, and it was amazing listening to you guys with the guests, like knowing your backyard. And I wonder, like, sometimes, we go to towns. We were in a town in Texas, and we were doing, it was a vacation rental at the time, and since it isn't now, but we were going to the state park, and this is a very famous state park for their fall maple leaf. I can't, lost maples. Yeah. And I was running out of gas because they had a detour, and I have a rule of, you always, if you get close to your half tank, you fill, because you never know.
Yeah.
And that was one of those
I agree
dumb
with you there.
days. Yeah, well, apparently
And don't
I decided,
go to bed without your gas tank full.
yeah, all of that. It's
Just
really
don't do
true.
it.
It's
Don't
true,
do it.
because stuff happens in life.
Yeah.
And I decided to not listen to my own advice. And every time I do that, it's like oopsie. And that was an oopsie day. And I could see, like, I didn't know if this was one of those parks where you end up doing a drive. I couldn't tell we didn't know. We ended up on this long detour, which was beautiful. And they have a town called Utopia, which I thought was really cool.
That is very cool.
And then there was a biker museum, but it was closed when we were going there. And it was that beginning of spring, and Texas had just had that huge freeze, remember? And then nobody had heating, and then got a $6,000 bill for their heating, kind of.
Oh yeah, I heard about that.
It's crazy. But the park, it was coming to life, and we met the park, we did an interview, and everything was really cool. But on the way, I'm like, we need to get gas. I don't know if we're doing a drive. I don't like, and I didn't realize that how desolate it was. And there was a little store with little gas pumps, and you're going to pay more, right? When you see those little gas pumps, they're going to get you. And I'm like, but it's worth it. You need them. But I go in the store, and I asked the lady, I'm like, how far are we from the park? And, and she says, I don't know. I just, she owns the place, and she's never, for over 20 years, and never been in the park. And I looked at her, I'm like, you're making I know you've got your locals, which are few and far between, right? It's all farming, ranching country, and, and I'm like, you don't. And so everybody knowing this area, go, take a glass of water into her and put it on her head, because how can you be making money off of all these people coming in to the park and not know the park, or have ever set foot in the park? Like,
it's so weird.
Wow.
And I couldn't believe it. And that's what we love about you guys, is like the entire opposite of, it's like, to me, if I ran the gas station out there, I'd tell people where to go. I'd be like, oh, check this out. You know what I mean? You'd be the information center, because there's no information center out there, but you guys are really good about knowing your backyard, and you haven't been there that long, right? Like, how many years now?
3.
More than 3.
Oh,
yep.
Wow.
Yeah. When's your anniversary date for the inn? Do you know? Like,
for the inn, our anniversary?
Yeah, your anniversary.
It's September 12th. So we just had our 3rd anniversary.
Yeah,
Nice.
that is amazing, you guys. So are you loving it? Yeah, I mean, it's a lot of work.
Oh, yes.
Oh yeah.
It's a lot of work, but work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
Well,
and you go out
you're really good at it. I will say that, because we've been in a lot of B&Bs, and you're really good at it. You're good
at it. You make the people feel so comfy, and you cook up a really good sausage, and have great beer, and you know where all the hikes are. But on the other side, like,
you're not stuffy. Like some B&Bs can come off really stuffy, and they have too much too many doilies and dust.
I know what you're talking about, and that's what we like. We just want it to feel more like home.
Yeah,
welcoming,
that's
warm.
awesome. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And you
have
that.
a beautiful garden. That's the other thing. You have like a certified wildlife garden, and I can say it is a certified wildlife garden.
Mm-hmm.
We've done gazillions of shows on that with the National Wildlife Federation, and we've hung out in your garden and seen all kinds of birds and critters, and it's beautiful. And so it's amazing though what you can do in a historic district, and then next thing you know, you're in nature, right, on the Blue Ridge Parkway or the Arboretum.
Exactly.
Can you give us some insight in regards to the Biltmore estate? That's something Nancy and I have not done, and everybody keeps going, "Have you done the Biltmore?" I'm like, "No, we haven't done that yet." Sorry, we're one of those fools that haven't done the iconic thing. So, well, when we wanted to go, it had to have a 2-week waiting thing, and because of COVID, and also just as journalists, it takes you time. So tell us a little bit about like what the experience is like for people now when they want to come in.
Well, your favorite time of year at the Biltmore would be the same as ours, and that's April, because that's the Biltmore blooms with all the tulips and daffodils, all the pretty spring flowers. It's just gorgeous.
Okay. And then there's the house.
So that's our favorite time to go see the gardens. That's
and what about the
gardens?
The mansion.
The house is nice to see. Yeah, the house is amazing to see anytime. I like Christmas time just because I like the way they have the fireplaces lit. They do live music, so it's nice, warm with the Christmas spirit. It's just nice kind of time of year, that way.
Oh, nice. I like that.
So, what about downtown and around? Steve, give us an overview. How many breweries are in Asheville, do you think?
Oh gosh, I don't know. They have if you ask somebody, I guess, who's an expert, I guess they count the other outlying places. They say there's like 40 or something like that. But
wow,
I want to say like count maybe 15. I don't know. It seems like in our downtown area that are well known and that are easy to find for the most part and are worth going to. We have an area called the South Slope where there's several breweries that are pretty much right next door to each other. So you can go to one, try out some of their beers, and some of them serve food as well. So you can have lunch, have a couple beers, and go across the street to try out a couple of their beers. And each one of the breweries around here, they pretty much have their own style of making beer. Anywhere from you have like Wicked Weed, where they specialize in wild yeast sour beers, where they barrel age them, and they're made like in the old style back in Belgium, England, and around there. And then you can go further down the slope, and you have some that are more unique, like Burial, where they kind of push the envelope with their beers, and where they'll have some super heavy beers where, high octane, like 12-14%. But then they have like some other ones that are more normal, but they'll add like different flavorings to them and different techniques they apply to their fermentation process and their aging process to bring out different things.
Where were we that we saw you the last
down the slope?
I know we saw you here in Georgia the last time, but where were we in downtown Asheville? And I love the downtown because you have record stores.
We had lunch at Bold Rock.
Bold Rock. I was going to say that. I wanted to make sure because they were doing cider, but it wasn't that. It was just so well balanced. I mean, I think I had mine that was in the whiskey barrel aged thing, and it was just so good. I mean, it was a refreshing cider. It wasn't that overly sweet kind of. And there's a time and place for that.
Sweet apple juice taste.
Yeah.
We have like three cideries that I can think of off the top of my head that are down there. You have Noble Cidery, which was actually on the outskirts of Asheville, and they moved and put a location downtown, Bold Rock, which I think they started in Virginia, then they moved down to an area south of Asheville, Mills River, and decided to open up a location downtown. And then what is that last one I'm trying to think of? Over by Urban Orchard. Yeah, they have.
But there's also now Botanist and Barrel. That's kind of they're doing wild wines and ciders, which that one's a unique one. We should take you there.
That sounds good.
Yeah, that's really good.
I like
wild
wines.
So there was this other post. I mean, I love following you guys on Facebook and Instagram. Everyone, just because you get photos of the Blue Ridge Parkway, Smoky Mountains, and downtown, and beer, cider, food, all of it. but you had this picture up of a rooftop bar, and I'm like, it sounded like it was so close to the inn, and I'm like, a rooftop bar? I want to go see the sunset in the rooftop bar with a cocktail. Where was that? I mean, how far is that from the inn?
Half mile down the road. Is that
3/4 mile?
Wow.
So we can walk.
Yep.
It's a
It's an
walkable.
easy walk. Easy
Oh,
walk.
Oh, cool.
Yep.
Oh my
Nice.
gosh.
Yep.
See, that's
Mm.
important. That's important.
Yeah.
That's
Rooftop
it. You can
bars
have
are
the best of both worlds. It's up in a hotel, but you know, you can walk down the street from here and have a better, more personal experience kind of thing. And then,
Mhm.
you know, still go to
Yeah.
those places like that for the hotel just to check it out and then go watch a sunset like that, have a high price drink, but you know, you're paying for the ambiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the view and
Sure.
the view. But I mean, you guys are like, how many stories? Like, if you think down, you've got the Innkeepers Quarters downstairs. 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
How
4.
many?
Yeah,
Yeah,
4
you-
technically with our quarters. Yeah.
And
Mhm.
then what's the room at the very top? The big suite. That one, like, you got to have. I mean, the view's there.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
I know
The
about
Craig
cleaning that
Toms.
room.
We wish you look at the oldest photo we have, and there used to be a crow's nest on the top of that, on the top of the roof
Oh.
above that room. And that's
Cool.
what we said. Oh, can you imagine if we know from a friend of ours that had done drone photography above our house, and he took towards the backside, and you saw the mountains and the sunset. If we had that crow's nest, oh my gosh,
Oh.
I cannot imagine.
How
Mm.
cool.
I-
Mm.
Maybe one day, right?
Yeah, it could
Yep.
happen.
You never
It could
know.
happen. I mean, it's so
Yeah.
beautiful, and that was the thing too. Like, you're in this historic district, and you know, Asheville's a little city. It's a thriving, alive, eclectic city. Like, it's like anything. You
Mhm.
know, it's like it's wonderfully diverse. Like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean. You can be who you are
Mhm.
there. That's what I love about it.
Exactly.
But there's
Mhm.
at night it's peaceful. I mean, we could hear owls at night.
Mhm.
You could hear owls,
Yep.
and
Yeah.
I think.
I know
Yeah.
certain times, yeah,
Yeah, horned
absolutely you
owls.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's magic.
awesome.
In the morning, you can see
I
all the
love
birds
that.
out in the garden, you know. So it's a magical thing. Just in closing on going back to the nature side, we're talking about spring and everything, but when does the parkway open up where people can drive from the inn, you know, and I want to give a shout out to the Arboretum. We haven't done it in spring and summer, but like, the Arboretum totally freaking rocks. It's free to
Mhm.
get in. You're going to pay
Yeah,
for
it does.
parking though, but
Mhm.
it is incredible. You can go hiking. They have the National Repository of did I say the right word? Is it repository or depository?
That sounded pretty good.
Repository? I don't think it's a
Basically,
suppository.
I just
Uh-oh.
uh-oh. But they have all the azaleas. Each azalea of
Azaleas
the
from
state
every
is in there.
state.
Every
Mhm.
single state is represented with their azalea plant
Oh,
in there.
pretty.
And when we were there, it was not the season, but one was like, I'm
still.
here, I'm proud, and I got to photograph that. But
That's so
they have
pretty.
like the creeks and hiking trails in the forest, and then they have like the botanical garden side. And it's amazing. They have this big quilt that they make every season that you
Oh,
can
I
stand
love
up. It's a
that.
quilt of
Oh, I love
flowers and
that.
plants.
Mm.
And
Mm.
I
Mhm.
heard that in the holidays you can go like do wine strolls and through the gardens that
Yep,
all lit up.
exactly. That's it.
Cool.
The winter lights they let you do.
Mm.
They have like a little shack you can buy wine and beer and hot cider. You just wander around, and then like that quilt
Nice.
garden you're talking about, they kind of do like different lights bouncing to music. So it's really
Oh,
cool even in the
cool.
winter.
I love
Yeah.
it. We went to the
Nice.
botanical garden the last time we were there too. And
Mhm.
but it was you guys had a lot of rain. And so like basically everywhere you went, you're just like you're gonna just slide in mud. But it was still really cool. Like
That
we
was
didn't get
cool.
to do much. And we were like,
Mm.
okay, we'll come like really it just I mean it was
It was beautiful,
it was rainy at that
Yeah.
point.
but
And
it
so
still was beautiful.
I
but it was
understand.
beautiful.
Mm.
Yeah, it was beautiful. So we really want to go back to the botanical garden because we haven't done
Mhm.
that. And
Mm.
I want to do there's that folk art museum that we've never done.
Yep, the folk
Um,
art. That is nice. Yep, that's really nice.
Mm.
And the Moog Museum. Listen, we've got to go
Yes,
see the Moog.
we have not done that yet.
Dude.
We plan to
Oh.
do that soon.
Okay.
Oh, yeah,
We have to do that.
I want to
So we'll let you know.
Oh,
Cool.
and then you were saying that there's a restaurant that you can see the vinyl being pressed for the music lovers
Yeah,
out
it's
there.
called Citizen Vinyl. Yeah,
Oh.
Citizen Vinyl. It's in the Citizen Times building, so that's the newspaper. So it's a whole historic building, and so it's part cafe and part of where they're actually manufacturing the vinyl. We didn't get to see them doing the vinyl when we had gone in there. We went in there just to check it out, but that'd be cool to watch them actually pressing the vinyl.
Yeah.
It's a really neat building.
I want to do like a whole thing about the arts there, because you've got all the public art. You have the arts. Was it the Riverfront Arts District?
Yep.
And
that's still growing. Yep.
And all those art studios, galleries. I mean, it's just like
It's
the arts.
amazing.
I really want to do something on that. So when we come back, we
They
will.
They just opened a big old warehouse now that they were filling with art just recently. So it's still a work in progress.
The
but
Marquee.
It's a huge area.
It's called the Marquee.
Wow.
And there's also a new brewery down there too. There's a new high wire location.
A new
in the
high wire
Arts District.
Ooh,
Yeah, they made it
High-Wire.
partially out of containers and that, so it's the beer gardens out of the containers.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's a really cool little spot.
Is that what you're seeing too?
They're really
that
fixing up that area.
Also kind of green, on the green side, environmentally conscious about what's going on with our land. And
Mm-hmm. Yep, definitely.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I think that's
It's
important.
Cool. It's very cool.
You know, yeah.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Wow.
You've got so many waterways, and I think about going on Tunnel Road that kind of circles, like Texas has these big highways that circle around the cities and everything. And it took a while to get used to, but once you do, it's cool. And you guys have the Tunnel Road and everything, but there's always water somewhere, And I think about all the little, salamanders and the newts and the froggies and, all of them.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And you got to think about their water being happy, so being environmentally safe and all of that is good stuff. So that's really cool.
Absolutely.
But when does the Blue Ridge Parkway open?
So that really does depend on the weather. Once they figure the weather, they will open it maybe March, April. It's going to depend on how the weather plays out. And they may open it, and then if it looks bad again, they'll close it temporarily, and they'll keep doing that. Usually once we hit April, it's definitely open from then on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
They tend to do maintenance this time of year too, when they can. So even if there is a good weather and if everything's cleared up, they'll still have a lot of it closed so they can fix potholes and any kind of erosion or anything like that.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for joining us again. We miss you.
Yeah.
It's good to hear your voices.
Thank you.
And we can't wait to see you
again. Hear yours too.
And listen, everyone, we will be back at the inn at the Lion and the Rose B&B in August. I'm just saying. So come get Nancy's waffle and sausage.
Got to sing the Sausage Day.
I will.
Sausage day.
Sausage day.
Everybody's happy when it's sausage day. Ozzy gets the tail. Oreo gets the butt. I don't know. That didn't sound right. But anyway,
It's a work in progress.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
We're gonna write a sausage song.
Yeah, we have to write a full song. But everyone, keep in mind, October 2nd, we're doing a Sausage Day Festival. It's going to be a live show, and if we have more, we're going to be adding it on because there's a lot of cooking with sausage around the country. I mean, we're going to Natchitoches. I know they play with sausage, and that doesn't sound good either. But anyway,
I have a song. Why, my sausage?
Oh boy, we're going to play the sausage music game for sure. That's happening. So it's going to be
sausage games. It's going to be fun.
Yeah,
it's going to be insanely silly, and we're all going to be hungry. So I say that everybody joins us with a side of sausage.
Yeah,
You can't come to a sausage party without your sausage.
Can you put a sausage in a cocktail?
Put a sausage in it. That's it.
What?
I don't know. But everybody, go to Lion-Rose.
Cocktail weenies.
Oh,
yeah.
Listen, sausage in the Bloody Mary, like the weenie in the Bloody
yeah,
Mary.
put the weenie in the Bloody Mary.
I agree.
I want the Bloody Mary.
Armor hot dogs.
Listen, Steve Schneider is ready to sing that with you. That's happening.
Okay.
Yep.
I know the words, so I'm ready.
He's
I don't have to sing
really
harmony,
ready.
though, do I?
No, don't worry. He'll do Carol Channing.
He'll do Carol Channing. You're safe.
Okay.
You're safe.
I don't hear Carol Channing sing that, but she will
I'll try
be
to do my
singing
best
"Hello
Elvis then.
Sausage." Hello,
Oh yeah,
sausage.
you be Elvis and he could be Carol Channing. That's perfect.
That's right.
There you go.
Oh my God, how funny!
I'll do
Everybody.
my best.
Oh,
Don't
there
do.
it is.
Thank you.
Well,
I got a hunk of
Thank you very much.
burning sausage.
Uncle
Oh,
Sausage,
boy.
yeah.
Hunk of burning sausage.
I'm not even going to start. But everybody, watch the latest season of Letterkenny, and then you'll know more. Anyway, all right. Lion-rose.com is the website. Please go check out Stephen Karen's awesome bed and breakfast. It really is charming and comforting and so much fun, as you can hear. It is a great place right in the Montfort district, and it is historic, and there really is a cool graveyard behind there that you
And
not
please
right behind
ask
the
for their
house.
Mhm.
sausage.
And it's not haunted, you know. Well, I don't know. Everybody has their own things about historic homes, and everybody may feel something in the night. I don't know, but
Maybe.
I think your B&B is comfy and cozy, and I
Yeah.
can sleep well there, and
Mhm.
it's quiet except for the
Mhm.
owls. And then you're like, oh my gosh, there's
awesome.
an owl, and it gives you a little whoo, and then you go, okay,
Yep.
tomorrow's sausage day.
Ooh.
Mhm.
Yep.
You got it. Take care, everybody. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.